Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your great support to this platform. Today, the Nairobi County Senator Edwin Sifuna reacted to the said claims that have gone viral, trying to say that the former President Uhuru Kenyatta is the one funding the Linda Mwananchi rallies. And Edwin Sifuna said that if it is true that the former president is the one funding him, then let the photos of him meeting the former president be exposed and shown to him that this is the point where he met the former president Uhuru Kenyatta. And if there is anything like money sent to him, then because those claiming are the ones that have or belong to the government, they are capable to access his bank accounts information. So let them go and look at the transactions of the names or the money from the former President Uhuru Kenyatta's account. And before I show you that video, ladies and gentlemen, I want to humbly request you that if you're watching this podcast and you've not subscribed to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel and activate the notification, like our videos and comment to show your support to our work in the channel. You can also share the video, we will appreciate.
Wanakuambia Sifuna, si mnakuja Kakamega na si tunajua lazima mkule, mimi nakupatia kuku 20, tafuta mahali utachinjia upike. Jamaa kuna hoteli anasema zidropini kwa hiyo hoteli nitachinja watu wakuje wakule. That is the sort of movement we have built. Unanielewa? So hakuna mtu anafaa kutishwa. In fact, vijana wajitokeze, wasimame viti. Mtu asikudanganya tunahitaji sijui shilingi milioni ngapi. Hapana. Na sisi kama Linda Wananchi, baada ya kuweka ile platform pale, wewe ukiwa kijana ambao unataka kusimama kiti, njoo kwenye hiyo mkutano. Mimi nitakupa mic. Mimi nitakupa mic. Sasa uliona kama ile dais yetu ya Kakamega ilikuwa imejaa aspirants. Tunataka tupanue hiyo dais. Atea, nitumie 10k. Nipanue dais. That's how much we need. So tutaelekezewa,
so hakuna mtu anakufanya.
Tutaelezewa watu wananifanya. Nimewaambia. Nimewaambia na nitakuonyesha huyo ndugu ambaye alinipa hiyo track. Wakenya wako na goodwill. Nani wamesema hata Sifuna ukikuja hata bila hiyo sound. Wewe kuja tu wave basi. Kuja tu wave, tuta wave back. Mnanielewa? So tutaelekezewa propaganda. Mimi nawaambia wamejaribu kuharibu jina, imekataa bwana. Watasema huyu sijui nini.
Sema Uhuru Kenyatta na wafanya.
Unajua uzuri wa hawa jamaa, si wao ndio wenye serikali. Wako na asasi mpaka za ujasusi. Watuonyeshe tulikutana wapenda Uhuru wakanipea pesa.
Watoa transaction
ya nini? Bank account zangu zinajulikana. Nyumba yangu wanajua pali iko, wakuja wafanye msako huko kama watapatana na
kuna safe underground.
Ladies and gentlemen, something is wrong somewhere. I don't understand why the President William Ruto handlers are getting angered when the leaders start talking about vote rigging in 2027. And on Sunday, Fred Matiang'i, while attending a church service in Embakasi, he made some statement about vote rigging.
Finally, nilienda mtihani na haikuibiwa. Utaiba kura zetu.
To me, that statement was not much serious that it can or it could ignite anger from William Ruto's allies. Then I saw the Kericho Senator Aaron Cheuiyot replying to Fred Matiang'i as if Fred Matiang'i had locked their ways of rigging elections. And actually, it is showing some kind of panic, because the only way they can get to win the 2027 presidential election is either by bribing the people or rigging the elections. And in this podcast, I want to explain to you something about it.
Mission to lead them, Madam Speaker. This business of drumming up, beating drums of war every now and then, oh, you'll not steal our vote. Which vote?
If you believe you have sufficient vote, Madam Speaker, you go out and seek. You know, I saw a gentleman last week on Sunday bragging before the country that, oh, you know, I took care of examination and nobody stole exams. Yet is a gentleman who one is indicted by a committee of this house, that the only record they left at the Ministry of Education is that they stole public land belonging to a primary school in Ruaraka, Madam Speaker. And they want to lecture us about electoral integrity, that they will guard the votes. There is nothing, no business we in the political class have with regards to guarding of election, Madam Speaker. We need to surrender ourselves to the authority of the IEBC and trust them that they are an independent constitutional commission, that the minute they have set out their responsibility and they have done it in a fair and transparent manner, Madam Speaker, we accept the results. In fact, Madam Speaker, I dare say that given the conduct of politicians in this country, Madam Speaker, part of the electoral code of conduct that IEBC gives us to commit ourselves to before subjecting ourselves to any election, Madam Speaker, must include acceptance of results, Madam Speaker. If we want to be a country that is progressive, otherwise we will end up being in a country that is pumping billions upon billions of shillings every other election cycle just to satisfy the ego of people who cannot win elections, Madam Speaker.
In Parliament yesterday, the Suba South Member of Parliament, Honorable Karoli Omondi, turned to be bewailed after Majority Leader, that is Kimani Ichung'wah, and Junet Mohammed removed him from the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee, which is to oversight elections. As you know, Honorable Karoli Omondi is against William Ruto.
Allow me, Honorable Speaker, to read the members of the Sports and Culture Committee, and these I've just Googled from the parliamentary website. Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from this heckling. I'm not used to heckling.
Honorable Karoli, just listen.
This is a house where we engage with decorum and intellect, not heckling. Honorable Speaker, the chairperson, as listed on the parliamentary website, is the Honorable Sitati Daniel Wanyama. Vice chairperson is Honorable Amashukuru James Githua Kamau. Committee members Jackson Kipkemoi Kosgei, Honorable Naomi Wako Jilo, Honorable Yagon Richard Kipkemoi, Honorable CTNA Janet Kipkemboi, Honorable Letipila Dominic Eli, Honorable Manyo Catherine Nahabi, Honorable Muhanda Elsibu Sihile, Honorable Nguna Ngusia Charles, Honorable Omondi Karoli, Honorable Mule Stephen Mutinda, Honorable Basil Robert Ngui, and the last one is Honorable Nabuin Paul Ekuom. Honorable Karoli Omondi cannot claim to have left a committee. You do not leave a committee. You are either discharged, and even that discharge has to be approved by the House. Or you resign. If you are leaving a committee, you write to the chairperson of the committee and to your whip and to your leader and offer your resignation from that committee. The whip has no resignation, the leader has no resignation, the chairperson of the selections committee has no resignation of the Honorable Karoli Omondi from the Sports and Culture Committee, and that's why I said from the word go, he was misleading the House. That is not in any other committee, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think you should take action.
Honorable Karoli Omondi faced the Speaker and said he is being removed from that position because they want to rig elections.
The power of the selection committee is to nominate members. I want to be shown the power of the selection committee under our standing orders to discharge me from a committee, because only articles.
You've made that point already.
Yes, but I want it. I want a ruling from you. I want to encourage you to retire, not make and research and give us a ruling on these matters. It is for the benefit of the members, because members have been mistreated in this house, where political differences are brought into this house. They don't want me to chair CIOC because I'm going to oversight general elections. They want to rig the elections. That's why they don't want me in CIOC. And that is the reason. That is the reason. Because I'm chairing CIOC.
Order, take your seat. Take your order, members. Order, members. Order, members. I don't want us to escalate this. Order. Honorable Karoli Omondi, I don't need to retreat to make a ruling on this very simple matter. On the first point, as to whether you are a member of any committee, I hold the majority leader to what he has read to the House, that you are a member, and if you are not, then I direct the leadership to make sure that you get a committee. That ends there.
And I agree with Honorable Kibagendi's statement that made him be sent out of the parliament when he claimed that the parliament had been auctioned. This is a matter that needs to be addressed, and the country needs to be keen about it. Yes, and let me tell you, in that 2027 general elections, the stake of rigging will be higher compared to even how the rigging was being done during Raila's time. Yes, you know ODM was to replace the Mount Kenya region after the mistakenly done impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua from the deputy president position. And now, the ODM itself has become a threat to President William Ruto because he thought that ODM will provide or will give him a full support for his second term bid. But now the ODM has turned to divide, and the larger masses are with the Sifuna camp, who are under one term. You know, the Mount Kenya region is widely known for the high numbers of voters it always has, and because they always vote, they have high voter turnout during the voting day. The same, we may refer to ODM because ODM has a large number of people or supporters under it. And because almost a half of it have gone with the Sifuna camp under one term, there is a possibility of rigging the elections for them to get to win it. Yes, because Sasa, the Mount Kenya has gone, 50% of ODM supporters are gone, then some other regions also are not there in support of William Ruto. So the only option remaining for him will be rigging the elections. And if you look at the online polls, it clearly shows that the numbers are badly rejecting the president. Yes, until they are now ending up forging the polls to give us the perception that the president has numbers, but yet they know clearly the numbers are rejecting the president. You know, yesterday Rigathi Gachagua was in Bomet, a very clear sign of maturity and understanding from the people of Bomet. Yeah? And those people of Bomet allowed Rigathi Gachagua to speak without even chaos. Rigathi Gachagua was allowed to speak without any disruption. And those people even said they are very ready to welcome Rigathi Gachagua back to Bomet for a heavy political rally. And if they followed that Bomet event where Rigathi Gachagua was present, the reaction from those Bomet people, because what was seen is like those Bomet people are also under one term, which was clearly visible. And that should pass a message to the ODM leaders threatening Babu Owino that they will beat him up. You know, the ground has already turned because they failed to get the moods or to read the moods of the people correctly. And now the ground is leaving them. The ground is not with them anymore. But they are still in denial of the reality that they have the numbers. You know, Rigathi Gachagua never took any vote from Bomet. He just visited the people to listen to what they are saying. But if you look at the reaction from the Kalenjin leaders, then you can clearly tell that they are fully filled with emotions. And all of a sudden, the anger is up. Hata bila sababu. We don't know the reason.
Speak today, evaluation is ongoing for 3,000 affordable houses ambayo itajengwa katika kaunti hii yetu ya Kericho hapa katika Chelimo. Tunajua maneno ya barabara na mipango yetu yote vile tulikubaliana naye. Ile kitu sisi hatutaki ni mabroka ambayo wanataka kujitokeza. Nimemsikia mwingine ambaye tulifukuza kazi kule Senate, ati leo wako pale Bomet anajifanya vile yeye anajua kutetea watu wetu. Wewe, wacha nikwambie wewe wa Munyoro, hata tukikosa watu wa kututetea afadhali tukae bila, lakini wewe hakuna mtu unaweza tetea. Wewe tunajua tabia yako. You are a tribal and an evil man that can never defend anybody's interest. So stop pretending as if you want to remind the president of the things that he promised us. We know what was promised. We know what has been done. We know what is pending. We know when it will be done. Stop pretending as if you can speak on our behalf. Nobody has appointed you kujifanya ati vile wewe unajua kutetea. Wewe unatetea nani na tunakujua? Mchana na usiku umekuwa ukizungumza maneno mabaya. Kwanza kuhusu jamii yetu. Kila wakati ukisimama unasema William Ruto sijui amepanga Kalenjin wafanye nini na nini. Leo unageuka unajifanya mtetezi wetu. Kwenda huko na hiyo tumbo yako kubwa wewe.
And Gitonga said this statement that the day the president's rallies will be tear gassed, that is the day we will agree or accept that there are civilians with the tear gas. Because the police officers and even the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen keeps on singing for us the song of there are civilians having tear gas. And those rallies of the opposition leaders are not always tear gassed by the government. They are the ones who always stage manage the actions. So they want us to have that perception of normality, that tear gassing the opposition leaders, that is the normality. They are used to tear gassing themselves. No. Then if you are tear gassing the rallies, what are you trying to tell the supporters? What are you trying to tell the supporters? The issue of rigging the elections in this country, come 2027, in that general election, it should be seriously looked into. Yes, that issue should be seriously looked into. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this podcast. But if you've watched the podcast and you've not subscribed, just to remind you to kindly subscribe to the channel and activate the notification, like our videos, comment, and share to show your support to our work in this channel. But to those who have already subscribed, we say thank you very much for your great support to our work in this channel.
Mr. Speaker, nikimalizia nasema hivi. Unaona hawa vijana wanakuja hapa wanapiga Sifuna. Unapiga kijana mwenzako na Sifuna ana play role yake. Kwa hii bunge la Jakaranda ndiye mtu amekuja hapa akasema ati Sifuna hajawahi jenga hata choo. Hiyo ni role ya senator. Umejua sometime watu wakiongea hapa wana degrade hii bunge. Lazima tujue Sifuna anafanya nini. Alafu Mr. Speaker, unaona ule mwanamke amekupea mtoto. Unaona ule mwanamke amekutoka naye chini mpaka akupea mtoto, mpaka Mungu akusaidie naye akakupea gari, akutoa kwa nyumba ya mabati akakuweka nyumba ya one bedroom ya mawe. Huyo mwanamke hata ukipata mpango wa kando akimtolea kofia. Unaona Waluya vile wametembea na sisi. Waluya wametembea na sisi. Lewi, unaona kabila yangu wanakuja hapa wametoa macho, wanaona Ruto. Ruto atatumia kabila yangu kama kondom na ataacha watu. Sikudanganyi. Asanteni. Haya.